Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today we're covering the Barbarian in our Baldur's Gate 3 Versus series. Now the Barbarian has 4 subclasses, and these are the levels we're going to be looking at. We're going to go over each of the subclasses, and then we'll throw them into a tier list where we're going to rank them against all the other subclasses in the game. And first up, we're going to start off with the Berserker. Now when it comes to every Barbarian in Baldur's Gate 3, their subclasses are all going to alter their rage mechanic. And in the case of Berserker here, it gets changed into Frenzy. And with Frenzied, we're going to pick up Frenzied Strike and Enraged Throw. This is going to weaponize our bonus action. This makes Berserker, really early on in the game, a great damage dealer. And what's really nice about our Frenzied state here is the Enraged Throw will deal extra damage based off our strength, and it'll add the prone effect onto target. So you can actually bully a late game boss like Raphael with Enraged Throw here and really kill his movement speed. And then at level 6, we pick up the passive feature Mindless Rage, so while we're frenzied, we can't be charmed, frightened, or have calm emotions put on us. And this is just nice to keep us in that frenzied state. And at level 10, the last subclass feature we're going to pick up is Intimidating Presence. We can put fear on a target, and then we can reuse this to increase the duration of that fear effect. This can be okay, but we definitely want to focus more on doing damage as a Berserker. At least that's where we really shine because of how well we throw weapons in this game. And Baldur's Gate 3 has some really fantastic weapons that you can throw around. Now when it comes to ranking Berserker here, yeah, the subclass features they pick up, there's not that many of them, but intrinsically as a Barbarian, Berserker is just very strong at one thing, and that is throwing weapons. And so when putting it into a tier list and ranking it, keep in mind, we're not considering multi-classing or equipment that you pick up in Baldur's Gate 3, because we didn't do that for any of the other subclasses. I think I'm gonna have to stick this into the A tier. But don't get me wrong, if you consider multi-classing and equipment that you get in the game, the Berserker here would be like an SSS plus tier. The next up is Wild Magic Barbarian, and their rage skill gets replaced with Rage Wild Magic. And so what this will do is every time we enter that rage state, one of the random magical effects will go off. This is a lot of fun and for people who like just pure chaos. Additionally, we pick up the bonus action Magical Awareness, so anybody within range, we add their proficiency bonus to saving throws. This is a nice support ability. Moving on to level 6 for Wild Magic, we pick up these Bolster Magic abilities. Now we get one that allows us to recover a level 1 spell slot. So this is for you or an ally. Even though Barbarians here don't have any spell slots, this is more so for, I guess, multi-classing. But we also get a level 2 recovery. And then we get this boon one where we will receive a 1d4 bonus to our attack rolls and ability checks. Now this lasts for only 10 turns and you can use it once per long rest. And at level 9, we actually pick up Bolster Magic level 3, so we can recover a level 3 spell slot. These are okay, kind of nice support abilities, just a little odd to be on Barbarian. When I play Barbarian, I don't think about supporting my allies and their spells, but I'm not going to say it's bad, put it that way. And lastly, for Wild Magic, at level 10, we pick up a reaction, Unstable Backlash. So while raging, if we take damage or we fail a saving throw, we will trigger another Wild Magic effect. This is nice because Barbarians don't typically have reactions, and I am a fan of introducing more chaos, especially in co-op runs. So overall with Wild Magic Barbarian, I'm gonna have to stick it into B tier just because it's this weird like supportive Barbarian, and unless I'm making like a pure chaos like kind of party, it's just not something I'm gonna gravitate to, especially over the other Barbarians. Is it bad? No, I just think it's solid, maybe kind of like middle of the road. And next up is the latest Barbarian subclass, that is Giant Barbarian. Our rage gets turned into Giant's Rage, and this will increase our Barbarian size. And then the bonus damage we get from rage is doubled when we are doing a throwing attack. So is this going to be another throwing Barbarian, kind of like Berserker? Yeah, it is. But that's okay. We also pick up Vapric's Greed at level 3, which our carrying capacity is increased by 1/4. So this is a great subclass just to dump all your shit onto. Anywho, moving on. And then lastly, at level 3, we pick up the cantrip Thaumaturgy. This is nice, I guess, if you're going to have your Barbarian be the face of the party, but I don't know about you. I don't want the Barbarian to be the face of any party. No offense, Barbarians.
Oh, fine. I'll be here eating dirt or whatever.
At level 5 for Giant Barbarian, we pick up the class action Boot of the Giants. This is a bonus action that'll do damage and also pushes the target depending on our strength. So this is a nice way to weaponize our bonus action essentially. And for those of you that know me and how I like to use this ability, you know where I'm standing and you know what's about to happen. What do you say, my good man? One more time for old time's sake? And see ya! Man, that never gets old. And now finishing up Giants Barbarian, at level 6 we pick up Elemental Cleaver, and this will do 3 things. 1, we get to pick an elemental type to put on our weapon, and this will also add the thrown property to whatever weapon we are wielding. And the thrown property just means that we can throw a weapon and it's going to do its maximum amount of damage. What Elemental Cleaver also does is when we throw a weapon, it'll come back to us. So Elemental Cleaver, in my opinion here, is fantastic. And then at level 10, we get Mighty Impel. So we can just throw creatures with our bonus action, usually they have to be smaller than us. But this is just another way to weaponize our bonus action, and you know, it's kind of funny just to toss guards around. So when it comes to ranking the Giant Barbarian, I have to throw it into A tier as well, similar to Berserker, but in my opinion, I actually like Giant a little bit better for that throwing build because intrinsically, Giant can throw any weapon, while Berserker has to rely on a weapon that has that return property with it. Both the subclasses are really good, obviously. I'm just splitting hairs and just telling you what my preference is. But anyways, let's move on to our last Barbarian subclass. So the last Barbarian subclass to talk about here is Wildheart, and our rage gets changed into one of these animal hearts here. So if you've ever wanted to be like a Final Fantasy Dragoon, you would go something like Eagle Heart here, and you get this diving strike. So you get a lot of choices between levels on which one of these hearts you want to choose. Now you can only have one heart active at a time, but you can change them between levels. And to me, if I'm going to have a Barbarian support class, I would rather it be tailored to Wildheart here rather than Wild Magic, because the Wild Magic Barbarian, again, it has supportive skills, but it leans on that magical side. And for Barbarian here, I'd rather be more like nature-based, animalistic, and Wildheart does that job. Oh, and we also get to speak to animals at level 3 as well, so that's nice.
Let me kill. Let me eat him. Nice red prisoner full of meat. Let me eat. I'm hungry, so hungry.
Moving on to level 6, we pick up an animal aspect, and these are passive features that are permanent. Some of them will benefit your allies. Here's the list here. You get a lot of choices. And unlike the beast hearts we get that we unlocked at level 3 that changes our rage, this aspect here is permanent. So I would take your time and read through the list and really pick out what you think is going to benefit your party. At level 8, we pick up Land Stride. This means we can move through difficult terrain without being impeded. And this also affects if somebody's casting like a plant growth, we will move, or we will have advantage when we're moving through that as well. So pretty good. And then at level 10 for our last subclass feature, we get to pick another aspect. And again, these are permanent, so you don't get to change these between levels. So again, take your time and decide what's going to benefit your party the most. So when ranking Wildheart Barbarian, and yes, I have all 4 Barbarians sitting at the table and nobody's thrown a punch yet. But anyways, when ranking Wildheart here, I think I have to throw it in the A- tier. I think this is a really solid subclass in general, and I think the theme is on point as well. I actually like this subclass a lot. I just don't think I can justify putting it on the same level as Berserker and Giants. Alright y'all, that's how I would rank each of the Barbarian subclasses in Baldur's Gate 3. You let me know how you would rank them. Overall, I think Barbarian's very solid, a lot more solid than I actually was first anticipating. But here's the updated tier list with the Barbarian added. And I'm liking the flow of this. Now that A tier is getting pretty crowded, and I haven't changed anything from last time, but I'm thinking Tempest domain there, probably going to sneak up to S tier. And then maybe one of those Paladin subclasses goes down to A- tier. I just don't want A tier again to get like overcrowded. But overall, I'm pretty good with this list still. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you very much. I appreciate you. If you aren't subscribed, consider joining the channel if you like Baldur's Gate 3 content. We're also going to do some other like, I'd say, fantasy buildcraft games later on. But right now, it's a lot of BG3. So anyways, yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace and take care.